Hi everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. I know that understanding IJS can feel overwhelming. It's a complicated system. Whether you're a skater, parent, coach, or even a fan that wants to understand as much about scoring as they can, my goal is to break it all down for you so that you can feel less intimidated by IJS. In previous videos, I've provided you with an overview. In this video, I'll review all the basics of IJS from the technical side. If you're already familiar with IJS, this video can also help refresh your memory and maybe even discover something new. If we're just meeting, my name is Amy, and I'm a PSA ranked and rated figure skating coach. I'm also an ISSA certified elite trainer, certified specialist in strength and conditioning, and youth fitness. We're lucky this season, 2021 to 22, because the ISU hasn't made any rule changes. That's nice because it means we don't have to overcomplicate things, especially as there's still an ongoing pandemic and we're going into the 2022 Olympics. I talked about some of this in my other video, the What Am I Watching video. That video provides you with a bit of history and the reasons why we now use IJS instead of the old 6.0 scoring system. It was intended to help those watching figure skating at home to understand what they're watching. That video is an excellent introduction to IJS if it's entirely new to you. If you missed that video, there's a link to it in the description down below. I've also taken a deep dive into each of the IJS components. That video series was intended for figure skaters, their parents, and coaches to get a comprehensive understanding of how to improve their component scores. With the old system, 6.0, we used to only have a judging panel. The judges provided both the technical and artistic marks. When most of us think of scoring, we mostly think of judges. But with IJS, we now have the addition of the technical panel. IJS was developed as a collaborative global effort to produce a scoring system that provides a precise, transparent evaluation of a competitive program's technical and artistic aspects. The marks are divided into two basic categories: the technical element score for the feats of athleticism and the program component score, reflecting 5 different artistic aspects. These two categories are independent, as was the case with 6.0. A given program may garner a high component mark, but lower scores for technical prowess. Likewise, component scores may be low, with higher scores for technical ability. Component scores will differ from one competition to the next. Additionally, grade of execution scores, or GOE, will generally vary from element to element. Up to and including the 2017 to 2018 season, the grades of execution for each program element ranged between -3 and +3. But beginning with the 2018 to 2019 season, the GOE was expanded to range between -5 and +5. The technical panel identifies what element and the level of difficulty that was executed by a skater. This is the call. And the judging panel determines the quality of the element. This is the grade of execution, or GOE, as well as the component marks. Like I said, I have an entire video series about all the components, so I'm not going to go into that in this video. If you missed that, there's a link to it in the description down below. The chief referee oversees the competition. They schedule the competition, assign the judges and technical officials to events. They'll handle any protests and officiate. The judging panel includes the event referee and the panel of judges. Then there's the technical panel. There are about 5 people that sit on this panel. The technical controller is the person that is in charge. This is a spokesperson for the technical panel, your go-to person if you have a question about something that appears on a protocol. They check the rules to ensure that a program element meets the requirements. The technical controller takes notes and assists with making decisions about calls and levels of difficulty. They will also break ties if the technical specialist and the assistant technical specialist disagree on a particular call. Next are the technical specialist and the assistant technical specialist. The technical specialist identifies and calls the elements and features that increase the levels of difficulty. The technical specialist also identifies faults and any illegal elements. The technical specialist is the person that actually announces the calls. They watch the entire time and never take their eyes off the skater. The assistant technical specialist assists the technical specialist in identifying all the elements, falls, and any illegal elements by taking notes of every call the technical specialist makes. Suppose the technical specialist thinks that something needs to be reviewed. In that case, they will say review, and the assistant technical specialist will make a note of that. If the technical specialist didn't call for a review, but the assistant technical specialist thought there was something questionable, they can also call for review. The technical controller may also call for review. When it comes time to review, both the technical specialist and the assistant technical specialist review the element in question. If the technical specialist and the assistant technical specialist cannot agree, that's when the technical controller becomes involved. The roles of technical specialist and assistant technical specialist are interchangeable. It's not unusual for a technical specialist to sit in the assistant chair for one event and the technical specialist to chair for another event. There are two other roles on the technical panel. The data operator uses a touchscreen to input calls from the technical specialist and assesses video clips during the review process. The video operator clips each element performed by the skaters, but more and more, this is done automatically by the system. It's often not necessary for a person to sit in this chair anymore. Most technical specialists were successful skaters or coaches. Technical controllers, on the other hand, typically come from the judging side. It's also super important to point out that all these people are volunteers. You heard me right. They volunteer their time and do not get paid. Many people don't realize that, so I feel that that's really important to point out. They're not there for the money because, well, there isn't any. But they are there because they want to be. Just because they are volunteering does not mean that just anyone can perform these roles. The technical panel and the judging panel participate in rigorous training and must pass multiple exams. There are 4 levels of technical specialists, ranked from non-qualifying, regional, sectional, and national. To receive assignments on the national level, technical panelists need to be approved by a vote of the board of directors of U.S. figure skating. If you're familiar with PSA ratings and rankings for coaches, this is a similar system. For example, if you were a regional competitor or a coach to skaters who were regional competitors, that would qualify you to become a regional technical specialist. If you were a national competitor or coached skaters that were national competitors, then that would qualify you to obtain up to the national level. Getting back to the review, the way it works is that once the program has finished, the data operator leads the technical panel into the review process, looking at all the elements that were called for review. It's typical to look at any jump rotations in slow motion. Often when they put a skater in slow motion, the tech panel begins to see other issues that they may have overlooked when they watched it the first time. Likewise, using slow motion can actually show the technical panel there were no issues. Not everything can be put in slow motion though. Falls and jump takeoffs need to be reviewed in real time. The intent of the technical panel is to call what they see, but when something is unclear, the panel will often give the benefit of the doubt in favor of the skater. Remember what I said earlier, the officials are volunteering their time because they love the sport. They're not looking to take anything away from you. The officials are just doing their best to accurately call what happened. The addition of the technical panel in IJS helps to contribute to the precise and transparent evaluation of your competitive program. From the technical side, the values and levels are determined by the edges used, the number of rotations, etc. A judge must still determine a GOE for whichever element and level are called. All elements have point values attached to them. The base value is what a standard value is for each element, and this comes from the scale of values, or SOV. A specific base value is assigned to each technical element, reflective of its level of difficulty. A group of experts, including experienced skaters and coaches, determine the base values for each element. If you look at the SOV tables, it can be overwhelming because it's something like a 7-page spreadsheet with a lot of numbers. You want to get comfortable with it. In the SOV are all the listed jumps, axles, toe loops, salchow, loop, flip, lutz, and single oiler, which used to be called a half loop. There are 3 types of elements in single skating: jumps, spins, and steps. Spirals are considered steps. Elements that don't fit jumps, spins, and steps are considered transitions. This includes jumps that are unlisted and not included in the SOV. Unlisted jumps, including falling leaves, split jumps, wallies, waltz jumps, mazurkas, toe hops, ballet jumps. You can include unlisted jumps in your program to add to the skating skills, transitions, interpretation, and composition, which will be reflected in your component score. The goal here is to use them strategically and showcase your skills in a way that is well composed and provides for good interpretation of the music. Remember, though, that unlisted elements don't carry a technical value as far as the technical score is concerned. Something that I discussed a little bit in the What Am I Watching video is the abbreviations. The technical and judging panel refer to this as the language of skating. So it's a good idea for skaters, coaches, and even parents to understand that an axle is represented by the capital letter A and a toe loop by a capital T. When they want to show that a jump is a double, they just put a number in front of it. A double has a 2 in front of it. For a triple, there's a 3, and for quads, there's a 4. So you really need to learn this. My skaters all have notebooks that they bring to their lessons and hopefully their practice sessions too. When I make notes in these notebooks, I use the abbreviations so that they can learn them very early on. And this is important because when skaters compete with IJS levels, you must submit a planned program content form, or PPC. The planned program content form will help the technical panel and the judges know which element is coming up. This way, it allows them to look out for it so that they won't miss anything. This is especially helpful when you place elements very close together in your program. It also helps to speed up the entire event by making the review process more efficient too. When the program concludes, if the technical panel needs to review an element, a good video clip allows them to review it quickly without having to scrub through the entire program. It also assists the data input operator in entering the elements quickly and accurately. This speeds up the review process, which allows the technical panel to focus on your skating instead of the screen. By the way, my skating annual planner has program worksheets and critiques for the skater. If you or your skater is not already using a workbook, I highly suggest that you check that out. You can get it right on my website at skatewithaimee.com/shop. There's also a link to it in the description down below. And if you use promo code YouTube, one word, YouTube, you can save some money. In the future, I'll have videos about jumps, spins, and sequences. I'm also planning a video about competing under 6.0 for those of you not at the level to compete with IJS yet. So remember to subscribe and ring that bell so that you never miss a video. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with somebody else it could help, and just post it to your social media too. You might find some of these videos over here helpful too. You can click right on them and watch them right now. This is Aimee. Happy skating. Thank you for watching. I will see you real soon. Bye.